Hey, Dacetacular Nation. It is I, Brian Gibby, and I have taken over the 51st episode of the Dace Man Show. With me here this week will be the one, the only, Frank Ward.
You've only taken over with adult supervision. That's why I'm here.
I know, I need it. And that's about it for today, guys. Little shorthanded. Dace, unfortunately, is in the air.
No, I think he's grounded in Canada.
Oh, he's grounded in Canada. I knew he was
just posted that his flight was canceled.
Goddamn Canadian.
Yeah, they kept him.
They can have him. Who needs him?
We don't. We got this.
Exactly. So hopefully we got a pretty good episode today for you guys. Hopefully we won't be that quick, but we'll see how it goes. Of course, I'll be the one working the board, and this is definitely not going to end well. So here we go. On to sports.
About sports, you follow sports?
That's right. First up, current NHL playoff standings.
Hockey.
Getting very, very limited here. So apparently we're in the playoffs, aka it's Stanley Cup. There's only two teams on top of this hill. Los Angeles Kings and the New York Rangers. Currently the Los Angeles Kings are at a 3-0 series lead.
Oh, snap.
I believe they may be actually playing today, but who really cares?
Canadians.
Exactly. Them Canadians, it's their pastime. Going on to next, we can talk about the great old MLB. Chris always reads through all these great little things. So I'll just name all the top people. Of the East, American League, we got Toronto winning at... I guess they don't do points like normal teams. So they got 39 wins, 28 losses. Central Division's Detroit with 33 wins, 27 losses. West will be the Oakland A's at 39 wins, 26 losses. Then we got the great old National League. Atlanta's up on top, 34 wins, 29 losses. Other poor Phillies are getting their butts kicked at 26 wins, 36 losses. Little disappointing. Many games are back. 7.5. Central League, we got the Milwaukee Brewers winning their division, 38-27. And the West Division, San Francisco Giants, I believe, 42-23 losses. Dun, 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 dun. And those are the standings.
That was intense.
I know.
I was on the edge of my seat the whole time.
I thought you were. So the only other real MLB news I have is basically Manny Machado from the Baltimore Orioles, third baseman, when he he got suspended for 5 games after he I guess was quote unquote blamed for throwing his bat. People, at least announcers, thought he was actually trying to hit the pitcher, but he, I guess, mistimed the release of his bat, and it went more towards the third baseman. And basically forced the benches to clear and a little scuffle to incur.
Oh, it's terrifying.
I know. I find it crazy. Every time benches clear in baseball, they all just go up to each other like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And then they all go back and sit down on the bench. It's like, really? Did you really need to do that? Absolutely nothing happened.
They wanted to feel tough.
At least when hockey does it, they just beat the fucking crap out of each other. Next, the great old NBA playoffs. I guess this one's grinding down to an end, so I didn't realize that they actually ended pretty much the same time the NHL does, but apparently they do. They're also in whatever in the world they call their finals. I guess maybe it's just the NBA finals. I'm not exactly sure what they win. I know the NFL gets rings. MLB gets that little thing that looks like a rock. NHL gets a cup. Basketball people, God only knows. But looks like San Antonio Spurs are versing the Miami Heat. Spurs are up 2-1. And I actually have absolutely no idea how many of the games they play, nor how close that is to be over.
Isn't it 7?
I got no idea.
Or is that other sports? 7 sounds like a good number.
7 does. Best of 7. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who cares? All I know is the only time basketball is somewhat exciting is March Madness, and that's because of college teams. And then you
because
can fill
people have money on it.
Exactly. Fill out brackets.
Yep.
Try and win big. But only thing I know about is that, and my goodness in brackets are just picking a team that I know. And, they're going to win. Why not? They'll make it to the end.
I've heard of that college.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, my bracket this year, I think I got an amazing 7 points. What?
Wow.
I am pretty sure I came in second to last.
Hey, that's not last, though.
I know.
See?
Pretty much was might as well have been down there. NFL. I'm not exactly sure, but for some reason there is a resurgence in trying to get the Redskins to change their name. Apparently something happened with the great old legendary coach around here, which his name's actually escaping me. Crap. The hell's the big red guy?
Big red guy?
Yeah, he's the coach now at Kansas City. Oh, my God.
Andy Reid?
Andy Reid, yeah. Apparently Andy Reid did something and pissed off people. Having a great old resurgence in trying to get rid of these so-called racist / I don't know what in the world you want to call them, names out of the league. Pretty sure they'll probably go after Kansas City next. But we'll see what happens.
Then eventually they go after the Vikings, too, because the Norwegians are offended.
Then they'll go after the Phillies because what the hell's a Philly?
Yeah, because the Eagles are upset. Eagles aren't mating properly because you have a football team named after them, so you need to change it.
Can't do that. Then you're going to have to get rid of the Oakland A's because the B's feel left out. It's going to turn into a big clusterfuck. Who knows?
Yeah, they won't have team names anymore. They'll just be the Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
The
exactly.
City of Philadelphia. That's it.
Oh, man. So, and then, of course, because I care, probably nobody else.
I might. Probably.
But I'm going to talk about soccer.
Oh, they're doing that now?
Yep. So I'm basically just talking about the World Cup because I can care less about anything else. So teams are basically starting to get in that pre-qualifying state, blah, blah, blah. And things are starting to come out about it. Apparently the World Cup fields are in horrible shape in Brazil. Personally, I just question what do you expect from Brazilians, so.
Well, you think they take care of their soccer fields? It's kind of the only thing they have to live for.
You would think that, but man, a broke country like that, they just play in the dirt. They don't care.
I think they came out a little harsher than I meant, but I'm going to keep it. I'm sticking with it.
Exactly. I also seen the Brazilian soccer ball that they're going to have for all the World Cup games. It's actually extremely, extremely colorful. It actually does look very well pretty much does look like a Brazilian, has all the Brazilian colors in it. So it actually looks pretty neat. I think it's I think it's probably one of the better soccer balls that I've seen for the World Cup, but I'm sure all of you people out there in the world will be seeing that, or just me, because no one else cares about soccer. And what other great news about soccer for all those
that
people?
Is a pretty ball. Sorry, I Googled it. That is a pretty ball, that is.
It is. I like it.
I like it.
Yeah. And it's actually, like I said, it's the Brazilian colors, so it actually fits the theme pretty well. I didn't like last year's ball at all. But then again, it was in South African country. I mean, who really shouldn't have been there. Anyway, soccer. horns, the Vuvuzelas, or whatever the heck those stupid noisemakers were that made last year's World Cup unbearable for most people because that's all you heard, goddammit. Well, apparently Brazil tried to make their own noisemaker, and they called it a caxiola. I have no idea how in the world you pronounce that. But apparently what it is basically looks like a big egg thing that they put like brass knuckles on the outside, all made of plastic. And you basically just spin it around, and there's beads inside it, and it kind of sounds like a hissing of a snake. It's kind of weird. So they were actually promoting that as the next, I guess, noisemaker for the soccer events. Well, the Olympic Commission has already banned their beloved noise-making devices from all games. Apparently, in the pre-qualifying rounds, they've already had issues where fans, at the end of the game, were throwing these instruments onto the soccer field. So they've decided to X-day that from the World Cup as they feel like it was player safety issues. And I personally find it hilarious. So they didn't last that long. And that's pretty much all I got for sports. You got anything over there, Frank?
No, you covered it pretty good there. You did.
I know.
Nailed it. Yep.
Go with it. And we all know what time it is now. That's right. Gibby!
Boy, that escalated quickly.
That it did, fellas. That it did. My first story comes to you from China, more specifically Wenzhou. 2 naked women had to be cut out of their car if they were seriously injured in an accident in Wenzhou, China. The man escaped, thankfully, unharmed. Apparently what was happening is a threesome was happening in said car when one of the women unfortunately released the handbrake.
What was she trying to do with the handbrake?
Take it as you feel. Take it as you feel, man. I'm just letting you know. This is what's happening.
Got confused, thought it was something else.
Whether she was trying to let the car feel like the car needed to be in part of it, I don't know. But she accidentally released the handbrake, sending the vehicle rolling down a hill into a tree.
Oh.
Apparently that tree caused enough damage to unfortunately trap the 2 females in the back seat. Somehow the guy was like, F this shit, and got out. And he left the girls there, naked.
Well, of course.
Obviously. He wants to get caught with their pants down. God. And so he escaped, but the woman unfortunately had to be rescued and cut out of the car. So I guess they have what we call over here the jaws of life. So basically the women suffered some broken legs and things, but everyone's okay now except their pride. Poor pride. Next story. Louisiana woman was wrongly arrested not once but twice in Florida. The 28-year-old single mother from... Why do these people have these craziest town names and craziest names? Beyond me. Calmette? Sure, why not? Who has the same name as someone wanted by authorities. Who the hell has... Oh, my God.
It's a very popular name in Louisiana.
Apparently. Jesus Christ. Anyway, she sparingly spent 28 days in jail after being extradited to Clay County from Louisiana, where she was then released after officials finally realized after 28 days in jail that they have the wrong person. Telling you, officer, you got the wrong person. Sure, honey, sure. Sure we do. This girl has got to get out with a freaking huge payday, in my opinion. Because, I mean, you were in jail for 28 days. If you had any job at that point, you were obviously fired. I'm just saying. 28 days, no call, no show. I don't know. I'm not sure how well you're actually going to be able to keep your job after that one. So, obviously, Chen, oh, Jesus Christ. Her attorney sent to the sheriff's office a letter with her intent to sue this week, obviously. Chen, oh my God, why do I keep trying to say this name? Said she's lost her home while she sat in jail. So she probably was just blind, lost her home. And probably everything that's in it. That's kind of crazy, in my opinion. That is really crazy.
And you thought you were having a bad day.
Exactly. God. What was I thinking? All I got to do is sit here and fill in for days. Whew. Let's see. Televangelist Pat Robertson on Wednesday advised children whose mother was being threatened with a gun by the family's father not to go to the police. When my parents fight, my dad threatened my mom with his gun. A reviewer told Robinson in an email. Fortunately, this now means nothing to my mom, and she never goes nuts about it. She's very calm. But as a child, I got nervous and worried whenever this happened, the viewers noted and continued. Even my youngest brother saw this incident. What should we do about it and him? Well, again, you don't want to get your father busted, but you could, Robinson explained. You ought to go to your mother and say, Mom, this isn't scaring me, and I ask you please to get my father to have some help. So his advice is basically not to turn him in, and please just find help for this deranged lunatic. Hence the reason why gun control was invented, for nuts like this guy.
Yeah.
So he doesn't get his parents busted. Tisk, tisk, tisk. This one I actually kind of thought was interesting for you, Mr. Frank.
Oh. Ooh. Did it take place in Iowa?
It actually was in Howard City, Michigan.
It's close enough.
A man was jailed after he allegedly stole a forklift from a Walker business and tried to drive it along the highway at night to his home more than 30 miles away.
That's quite a drive in a forklift.
Quite a drive, huh? Andrew Lewis must have parked his car outside the gate of the concrete, cement, and concrete products sometime overnight, company spokesman said, and then hopped the fence and drove off on a Toyota forklift. He must have headed towards West River Drive after leaving Quikrete, located on the North Park, and gotten onto the northbound US 131. Around 5:30 Tuesday, Michigan State Police are spotted two Kentwood Sheriff apartments near a pulled-over forklift on the highway near Pine Island Drive. So this guy was pulled over driving a forklift on the highway.
How was he going to get back to his car?
Well, police did. Well, I mean, I don't think he was thinking that well because he was intoxicated at the time.
Oh, so he was just driving along and like, fucking forklift?
So
I want that.
I'm thinking it was, well, I can't drive my car because I'm drunk, so I might as well just drive this forklift home because why not? I can't get a DUI then, right?
Yeah, there's got to be no laws against that.
Yeah, there's no laws of just having a fence, doing a forklift, driving drunk down the highway. Nothing's wrong with that at all. So Lewis, 21, is now in Kent County Jail Tuesday and is expected to be charged on Tuesday with misdemeanor traffic violation. So I guess they didn't even charge him with a DUI. So apparently his plan worked. It worked.
It worked. Wow. All right.
But he's going to get theft put on his record as well.
So next time you feel like driving home drunk, ditch the car, get a forklift.
Exactly.
It's still cheaper than DUI, that's for sure.
You ain't kidding. So the great scientists of our generation have come up with a new disorder. and it's apparently bedtime procrastination. This is definitely Frank Ward 101 right here.
Like not getting out of bed?
No, just keep, like, I don't want to go to bed right now. Just stay up another 10 minutes. I don't want to go to bed right now. We'll stay up another 10 minutes.
Actually, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yep.
Well, except for it's normally, I don't want to go to bed right now. One more episode on Netflix. One more. And it's only a half hour. I'll be fine.
That's exactly what they're saying here. It says they'll catch up on, basically, your bedtime's at 10 o'clock, but they keep watching movies, basically, on Netflix, or in this case, they're saying Game of Thrones and stuff like that. And they just basically are binge watching and just.
And they're going to call that a disorder.
Oh, come on, man.
Is there medication I can get for this?
I'm sure you can get medication. I'm sure you can get a freaking handicap placard because now you're apparently mentally ill. I mean, God, just milk it. Just milk it.
Goldmine. How do I sign up? Do I have to see a shrink or something?
Yeah, you probably are going to have to go see it. Well, it says, I guess, yeah. Yeah, that or a doctor. Whoever can prescribe pills, who cares? Doctor, I'm having issues. I can't fall asleep. I keep procrastinating. I got the new disease. I got the disease. Bedtime procrastination.
Careful, it's contagious.
Very much so, very much so. So contagious, I probably shouldn't be allowed to go to work.
Yep, gonna need some time off.
All right, full pay. All right, here we go. Daytona Beach police conducted a reverse prostitution operation that resulted in the arrest of 10 men, including one who thought he could pay for sexual services with a salad, and another one who of a former local basketball star. So basically, these people are offering things in order to get sex that are not necessarily money. And they're offering it to basically it was a sting set up, obviously. And these people are crazy.
So
basically,
so they're trying to say it's not prostitution because I didn't give them money?
Exactly.
I gave them a watch?
I don't understand why they call it a reverse prostitution. But I guess because you're not. I don't understand. They're harping over the fact that this one guy wanted to basically trade a salad for sex.
A salad?
Yeah, salad.
Did it work? I could buy a salad.
Well, obviously the female officer said yes and then arrested his ass.
Huh. Well, that's true.
So, I don't know if it works or not, but I'm thinking Frank might be trying tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to go buy a salad. Drive around town holding a salad out the window.
That's right.
Who wants a salad? I'll toss your salad. Hey.
That's right, baby.
Do you think they'll let me do the podcast in jail?
Yes.
Okay, good.
You get like one phone call, right?
Yeah, got to use it on Wednesday.
Yeah, I'll just back it all for that one time slot. That'll be good. Don't worry about it.
And Frank Ward joining you live via satellite in the Sarasota County Jail. With my special guest, Bubba. Say hello, Bubba. Hi, buddy.
So what happened to you two last night?
Oh, we just cuddled.
Who dropped the soap? New York City. Apparently, there's a guy who thinks that rent's too low in New York City. He apparently has launched a 6-figure ad campaign where he's trying to say rent freeze hurts everyone. So basically, his feelings are because of the recession, the fact that rent hasn't, I guess, technically moved much in New York City since then, that it's hurt. He's trying to show it that it's hurting him. So basically, this ad campaign is representing 25,000 landlords who are trying to convince New Yorkers that they need to increase rent.
Okay. Because obviously, raising the rent so nobody has any more money but the landlords, that sounds great.
It sounds just great to me.
It does.
But the funny thing is New York City has the highest rent anywhere in the nation. Like, you can get basically what they call a flat, which is like a 10 by 10 room, and it will cost you more in a house around here. I'm just saying. But yet, rent's too low. God damn it. People are goddamn crazy.
Rich people are crazy.
Yeah, I know.
I assume he's loaded. That's why he's complaining.
Right.
He's loaded. He's loaded, but he's not as loaded as he wants to be.
Hey, he needs that more dough. He needs that more dough.
Yeah, I mean, yachts are expensive. And the gas for those? Shit.
God, I need more than just 2 yachts, right?
Exactly.
God, you definitely need at least, what, 6? I mean, just to be comparable now.
Yeah, if you want to be taken seriously, at least 6.
I mean, Jesus. People nowadays. All right. Pensacola, Florida.
Back to Florida.
I know. I love my Florida people. Booker T. Washington Public High School has placed a best-selling author and popular Boing Boing blog editor, Corey Doctorow Young. Doctorow. He's a young adult novelist who, I guess, created Little Brother. And one of his books that they have for the summer reading list is One School, One Book. And apparently, this book raised quite a stir because it actually encourages kids to promote like hacking and promote standing up against authority and things like that. So the principal at said school has decided to cut the program for the summer because he disapproved of the books that were selected for the summer reading program. So my question is why in the world did he not just change the books instead of just canceling the program? Yeah. Isn't he the one who has to approve of these books?
And instead he's just like, nope, I'm out, done.
Like,
these are no good, you suck.
I mean, really? You're just like, wait, is he doing such a bad job that he's not even paying attention at what, I guess, the people who are creating these programs are doing? I mean, I guess it makes sense. I mean, normal corporate culture 101, ignore everybody else, and then just cry foul when shit hits the fan.
Yep, just, I'm out.
And then run for the hills. And that is pretty much all I have for you great guys and girls out there today. So we're going to move right on to Frank's Corner.
Woo! This time for your delicious treat that is Frank's Corner. I've got some urban legends.
What?
Yeah, some kind of creepy, some not so creepy. So we're going to start off with a not so creepy one. But it's one that floats around a lot, and who doesn't love Mr. Rogers?
Oh, yes!
But the urban legend that Mr. Rogers was a Navy SEAL.
I know. I fell for this one so bad at work.
According to this legend, Mr. Rogers, the popular children's show host, was once a Navy SEAL sniper in Vietnam, responsible for numerous deaths. It goes on to say that the only reason he always wore a sweater is to cover up all of his tattoos. As you may have guessed, Mr. Rogers was never a Navy SEAL, and he didn't have any tattoos.
Upsetting.
In fact, he was never even in the military.
Actually upsetting to me.
So, you wanted to pretend he was a badass, but no, he was just Mr. Rogers.
Oh, he was a badass. He was the nicest anyone lie to you.
Badass you'd ever know.
Yeah.
Now moving on to a creepier one. But the myth of Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary. I don't know this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Unless it's a drink. I know that.
Nope. I'll just read it. Possibly one of the most popular urban legends told among school-aged children having sleepovers. According to this myth, if you turn out the lights, look into a mirror, and say Bloody Mary 3 times, In some versions, the number of times different, but 3 times, then you will summon the spirit of Mary Worth, a woman who was supposedly executed for being a witch. So,
Really?
children, get your parents' permission to go ahead and try it. If you die, we're not responsible. Just throwing that out there.
That's quite interesting. I never heard of that one. And I'd have to agree. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary. It's almost like Beetlejuice. Isn't that like the same thing with Beetlejuice? So say his name 3 times and...
Yeah, it was say 3 times.
I don't know if a mirror was involved or not, though.
I don't think he killed you either. Well, I guess it doesn't really say for sure she kills you, just...
She shows the fuck up.
Yeah, she's probably pretty upset.
Yeah, you just woke her up out of her sleep, you know? What kind of inconsiderate person are you?
It's true. Nobody likes being awoken when they're sleeping.
Damn right.
All right, how about the dissolving tooth in Coca-Cola?
What?
Yeah, you haven't heard of this one either?
Dissolving tooth... Where, they put a tooth? There's no way they put tooth into Coca-Cola. What? Yeah, go ahead.
Anyway, the most popular Coca-Cola legend, evidently there's a whole category called folklore.
Ooh.
Maybe we'll get into that some other time.
Maybe.
But is that if you leave a tooth in a cup of Coke overnight, by the morning your tooth will be completely dissolved. But it's just not true.
They're going to need to punch somebody and get their tooth knocked out. Test this theory. Frank, you want to be the guinea pig?
Yeah, I don't need all these teeth. It
Exactly.
saves time of brushing if I only have like 6.
There we go. There's the spirit.
How about this one? Walt Disney is cryogenically frozen.
Oh, I've heard of this one. And everyone knows he is, okay, no matter what you say.
The description for this is actually pretty lame. But it says that the records show that Disney was cremated in 1966.
Lies.
Unless, of course, they faked the cremation documents and he really is frozen.
He's definitely frozen.
And he will be back.
Mm-hmm. He will be back.
So, moving on to sewer gators.
Sewer gators.
This story tells a tale of how several alligators were brought up from Florida to be kept as pets in New York City. After they got too big and violent, they escaped into the sewers, where they now live freely. Dating back to the 1930s and spread by sensationalist newspapers, the story is completely untrue, yet continues to be circulated to this day.
The question, I think, is true.
Right down there with the Ninja Turtles.
That's right.
Hanging out.
He is.
This one I haven't heard of, but the Vanishing Hitchhiker.
Vanishing Hitchhiker, huh?
Yes.
Interesting.
This tells a story of a motorist who picks up a female hitchhiker on a lonely stretch of road. Because who wouldn't? See a hot chick, you need a ride? Yeah, you do.
And she probably had no clothes on, I'm just saying, but okay.
He then drives her home, only to find that she's disappeared from his back seat. After knocking on her door, he's told that the girl died in a car accident years ago in the very same spot that he picked her up.
I'm thinking, my question is, why is she in the back seat?
Like, why didn't he let her take shotgun?
Exactly.
Yeah, you can keep track of them better that way.
And services has to be performed. I mean, if you're, Yeah.
I
Really?
understand. Can't ride for free.
Can't do that in the back seat. Man, get to work.
Easily.
Jesus. People nowadays. There's our first problem. Jeez.
Crazy.
It's
Speaking of the back seat, though.
Uh-oh.
This one is titled The Killer in the Back Seat.
There always is, man.
This one tells of a story of a woman who is driving down a dark road at night, only to have a strange car pull up behind her and start flashing its lights. As she takes off on her exit and approaches her home, the stranger continues to follow her. She pulls up in her driveway, ready to make a mad dash to her front door, only to hear the stranger behind her get out of his car and yell to her to lock her door and call 911. Dun dun dun.
Really?
Only after the police arrive does she learn that the stranger was actually trying to protect her. In the back seat was a man holding a butcher's knife, ready to stab her to death. The stranger had noticed his shadowy form and started flashing his lights to get her attention, after which the figure slouched back down in the seat. And actually, after I read through that, I have heard that.
I was going to say, I think I've heard something somewhat familiar to that, but I never heard it in such great detail as you put it.
What were those scary story books that were around.
Goosebump?
No, like legit scary stories. Like there was like
Ghost
a
Tales
small series of them.
Damn it.
Like it might have actually just been entitled like Scary Stories or something.
It might have been Urban Legends.
Give me a second. Yeah, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Ah, all right. My bad. God, what was I thinking?
But I think I've heard some of those from that. Maybe.
Maybe. You never know.
And these books are 1981 and 1984. I didn't know they were that old.
1981. Man, that was before I was born. Showing your age. You're showing your age.
Aren't you older than me?
1987.
Yeah, you're older than me. I was born in 88.
Man, showing my age. Showing my age.
I just got old stuff to read, I guess.
I guess, man. Jeez.
Anyway, the next one is The Babysitter and the Man Upstairs.
Okay, this is classic. They made a ton of movies off of this urban legend.
This urban legend tells the story of a babysitter that starts getting phone calls from a strange man asking her questions that get progressively more personal and concluded with whether or not she has checked the children. Dun, dun, dun. She ends up calling the police, who proceed to trace the stranger's call. They immediately call the babysitter back to tell her that to get the kids out of the house immediately because the calls are coming from within the house. It is at this moment that the police arrive to find a man upstairs in the room where the kids are sleeping. But it is already too late as the kids have been brutally murdered.
Cruel and unusual punishment dealt because the babysitter failed at her job.
But you are right. There are so many movies on that one.
There
so
is.
many.
It's actually kind of overplayed, I feel like, by like a lot.
Yeah.
Personal feelings.
Humans can lick too.
Can lick to what?
Yeah. In what is probably one of the most disturbing urban legends out there, a girl is given a dog by her parents to keep her company while they were away. One night, she was awakened by a dripping sound. She got up and went to turn off the tap. Skipped a line. Well, no. Turn off the tap properly, after which she came back to her bed while letting her hand hang over the edge as the dog licked her fingers. The dripping sound didn't stop, though, so this scenario played out several more times, with the girl returning to bed and falling asleep with the dog licking her fingers yet again. The final time, however, she decides to try to locate exactly where the drip is coming from. She looks around only to find the sound emerging from within her cupboard. She opens it up to find her dog with its neck cut and a note saying humans can lick too.
I've never heard of that. That's a little disturbing.
It said one of the most disturbing urban legends.
You ain't kidding.
And this next one isn't exactly too much better.
How in the world can it be worse than that?
It's called Aren't You Glad You Didn't Turn on the Lights?
Aren't you glad?
Widely circulated on college campuses, this legend tells the story of two girls about to have
campuses. Oh my God, this is going to be great. Okay.
They have a big test the next day. One of the girls gets invited to a party the night before, and when she returns to her dorm room, she doesn't want to wake her friend, so she goes straight to bed. When she wakes up in the morning, she rolls over to find her friend has been brutally murdered during the night, and written on the wall in blood is the phrase, "Aren't you glad you didn't turn on the lights?"
Oh, wow. That is actually, wow.
How do you like that one?
How do you like those apples?
Yeah.
Man. He told her. That's actually really creepy.
Well, we'll go back to...
You're scaring me, Frank.
We'll go back to one that's a little bit better, less creepy, a little bit more factual, actually.
Ooh, all right. Let's go.
The urban legend of the poisonous daddy longlegs.
Poisonous daddy longlegs.
Yes. There has been a persistent rumor circulating for some time that the daddy longleg spider is the most poisonous spider in the world, but cannot kill humans because the fangs are too small.
Okay. Where
this rumor started, no one knows, but one thing is for sure, the daddy longlegs is certainly not the most poisonous spider in the world.
Then what
if you're going to be careful around spiders, I'd advise you to keep your eyes open for the brown recluse or the funnel web spider.
Okay. This is coming from a true redneck.
Redneck?
Yeah. You live out in the hillbillies, don't you?
Well, yeah, see there, get a tractor, and now it's some spiders.
We all know your normal means of transportation is a lawnmower. Okay?
Yeah, well, it's great on gas mileage.
Exactly.
And everybody knows you can't wear a shirt when you're on a lawnmower.
That's obvious.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
All right, going back to some creepy kind of stuff.
Yay, no.
The Legend of the Hook.
They have this, too, as in a lot of urban legends. But okay.
Yeah, well...
I meant not urban legends, I mean movies.
This legend tells the story of a young boy and girl who drive off into the woods, only to hear on the radio that a convicted killer with a hook for one of his arms has just escaped from a nearby mental facility.
Obviously, it's on one of his arms.
The boy simply locks the car door and insists that they stay, but the girl wants to leave. The boy then reluctantly takes off, and when they return home, depending on the vision of the story, there's a bloody hook hanging on the outside of the handle of the car door. I've heard stories like they hear noises outside the car, but they were getting frisky, so it was foggy.
Oh.
That was the version I heard. Like, they were getting it on, you know.
Yo.
They heard noises.
And he left? What an idiot.
Well, they both left together in the car.
And he's not a real man.
But, yeah.
That's an interesting version. But yeah, that's another one that's in all the movies.
Yeah, it is.
The prime one is I Know What You Did Last Summer, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I was going to say, normally it happens like the dude tries to be a man and gets out of the car and goes, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah, what's going on here? And then he dies. Yeah. Because they're idiots. They're all idiots.
Yep.
Just run him over. What can he do when he's dead?
Stay in the car. Run him over like 17 times. Then set him on fire.
Exactly. And then throw his body in the ocean.
Yep.
Case closed.
Done. Dead.
And
moving on.
Yay.
I have a handful left.
That's it? Just a handful?
Just a handful. Small handful. Got a little one.
Right.
This is called The Boyfriend's Death.
Boyfriend's Death.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
So this story involves two young lovers stopped on an abandoned country road.
Mm-hmm.
The boyfriend gets out of the car to use the bathroom because, you got to pee.
She has to go, man. You have to go. You have to go.
But he doesn't come back for some time. The girl decides to get out and go looking for him.
That's a lie. That is a lie.
In the shadows. She runs back to the car and tries to start it, but realizes that the back bumper has been tied to a tree.
Jesus Christ.
She then hears a scream, and after turning around, sees her boyfriend hanging from the tree.
So she completely missed everything that was going on around her.
Yeah, and she was going to totally just ditch her boyfriend, too, if he didn't care.
Really. Come on,
like,
man.
yeah, he's probably already dead. I'm out.
He's fucked. Fuck him.
Every woman for herself.
That's so typical. So typical.
And this one, which I'm sure is probably going to leave nightmares to everybody, it's called the clown statue.
Uh-oh. You like clowns, man?
Nobody likes clowns.
Really?
Have you ever seen the movie It?
Yes, I have. It's a great movie.
And how could you not fear clowns forever after that?
Who cares? Clowns. I know. I'm a weirdo. Leave the weirdo alone, please. Thank you.
Anyway, this is a story of a girl babysitting for a family when she calls the parents to ask if she can cover up a disturbing clown statue in the corner of the living room. The dad tells her very seriously to grab the kids, go next door and call 911 without any further explanation. Once she is next door, the police are on their way. She calls the father back, who explains that they don't have a clown statue. Furthermore, the kids have been complaining about a clown watching them in their sleep, but the parents had written it off as nightmares. In most versions of the story, the clown turns out to be a midget who's been living in their house for some time undetected.
Oh, my God. That is... Okay, keep going.
And when the babysitter came over, he didn't have time to escape, so he just froze in the corner. So, most versions is just a creepy midget that watches children sleep.
Wow. That's great. I'm sorry, that's great. That's the best thing I heard so far.
So I guess we'll move on to the fatal hairdo.
Oh, my God. What? Okay, please tell me about this deadly hairdo.
A girl who is very concerned with her looks decides to wash her hair in sugar water and leave it wrapped
what?
in sugar water.
What?
I don't know why.
What? Is that like normal? I'm gonna wash my hair, soak it in sugar water, and wrap a towel around it, and it's gonna make me look pretty. God, women are so freaking nuts.
I think sugar water will help your hair straight. Everything I see on...
Were you Googling it?
Yeah, I did real quick. A lot of it was talking about brown sugar and water.
So there's no way. Women are stupid. Jesus Christ. Really? I think we should go into business, me and you, and we'll make our own brand of sugar that specifically targets these idiots.
Tell them that it's the best for hairspray?
Exactly. This sugar water, which you can also use to make tea and stuff, is the best at cleaning said hair and straightening it and shit, and you just can't go home without it in your purse. It's a necessity. We'll make millions. Yeah,
because I guess water and sugar are something people use in prison to create hairspray effect.
Oh, there we go. We've opened up a whole new market. Look at that. Prisons. They gotta look pretty too, you know.
Yeah, they do.
You can make billions.
And
billions.
I guess depending on how old the story is, that might make sense too. Like if the story's from like the 1920s, they had to come up with some.
I guess.
Anyway,
gotta do something to fix that man.
After she does her sugar water, she leaves it wrapped in a towel overnight so that it will dry in the exact shape she wants. Hence the hairspray thing.
There's no freaking... All right, go ahead.
The next morning, however, she doesn't come down for breakfast, and when her mom goes to her room, she finds her dead in the bed. Upon removing the towel, it becomes apparent that she had been gnawed to death by rats.
So she's sleeping and can't tell. The sugar water numbed her body up or something, so that she can't tell she's being gnawed by a rat.
She's a pretty hard sleeper, you know? Or maybe she's used to being nibbled on when she sleeps. I don't know what she's into.
I can't even. Jesus Christ. All right, go ahead. This is a great urban legend. I've never heard of this one. This is just great. What women do to look pretty.
This one is actually pretty popular and mildly true. It's
mildly. I'm liking the sounds of this one already.
Dead body under the mattress.
Dead body under. How's the dead? Okay, go ahead. Please tell.
Well, this is a little story about how a couple spending the night in a hotel room.
About a guy named Brady.
That is filled with a foul odor. After a while, they can't take it anymore and call the front office. When the staff arrive, they discover the smell is coming from the bed, after which they remove the mattress only to find a rotting body beneath it.
What? Okay.
And according to this, it's actually happened more than once. Primarily, I think, in Vegas.
So,
buy hooker, don't want to pay hooker, kill hooker, shove her under the bed. Repeat. Profit. Huh. You don't have to give her a salad. Just shoot her.
Oh, man, you gotta give her a salad.
Not recommended, but if you're twisted in the head, I guess.
Man, jeez. You salad haters. Interesting. I would have never have thought that would have been true.
This is a little short one. I think I've heard this one before, but the Halloween hanging.
Halloween hanging. All right. This is turning out to be a great start. Go ahead. Please tell.
I wish it was a longer story, but this is actually based on several true stories.
They're all based on true stories. All right.
In it, a boy doing a Halloween play for school accidentally ends up hanging himself from the fake gallows. Hanging himself from the fake
okay. How old's this boy?
I don't know. It's just this boy.
Okay. How do you...
I don't know. Thought it was gonna...
Well, I'm just trying to figure it's a fake gallows, so I'm thinking, how can it hold his weight?
Must not have been as fake as he wanted it to be.
I guess you're right, man. I guess you are unfortunately right.
And the last one I have, it's hard to really consider it an urban legend because it used to happen a lot.
Used to happen a lot. I already love how you're starting this one out, but go ahead.
But the good old-fashioned buried alive.
Oh, yes.
It happened so much that in the past many coffins were even equipped with a string that ran through the ground and were connected to a bell not far away. This way, if anyone happened to be buried alive, they could pull the string and get somebody's attention.
So they're just under the assumption that said live person can see in the dark, and they can see said string.
And not freak the fuck out because they're in a coffin?
Yeah, exactly. Not freak the fuck out because they're in a coffin, and they can recognize the scenario they're in. Yep. And then you're going to tell me that they have somebody that literally just sits there, and his job is to watch a bell.
Gibby, your job is to sit next to this bell and wait for it to ring. You can't pee, you can't eat, wait for it to ring. I'm sure, well, there's probably a time limit. How long? Like, there's only so much oxygen in the coffin. So probably, like, within a day or two, if you didn't get a little jing-a-ling-a-ling, they're truly dead. Or didn't find the string, and now they're truly dead. Either way.
I mean, that doesn't... I want to know, has there ever been anyone buried and actually used said string and got out? That is the question. That is the question. Because if I was in there, I'd freak the fuck out. And the last thing I'd be looking for is a fucking string. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no,
last thing I'm looking for is a string, as I am freaking the F out. Wondering why the hell I'm in a coffin.
Like, last thing you remembered, you're running through the woods, you hit your head on a tree branch, and now all of a sudden you're in a dark coffin thing.
I mean, but to even didn't think, like, I wouldn't even think that I'm in a coffin. I'm just like, why can't I see, and why am I trapped? Like, how am I going to recognize I'm in a coffin? Have you ever been in a coffin?
No.
And how do you know what a coffin feels like? Like, how do you know you're in it? Oh, man, that's...
So I quickly ran over to Wikipedia
to
check out some premature burial stuff. And reports of accidental burials dates back to the 14th century. The philosopher John Duns Scotus, this is like around 1266 and 1308.
1266, 1308, okay.
I guess he died in 1308, but was reportedly buried alive. Upon reopening his tomb, found outside his coffin with his hand... Oh my God. Okay, so they reopened his tomb, found him outside his coffin with his hands torn and bloody after attempting to escape. So,
that guy, unfortunately, did not have a string.
No.
That's problem number one. Problem number two,
for him.
Why in the effing world would they re-excavate his body?
Yeah.
Shits and giggles?
Yeah, let's check this guy out. Oh, well, maybe it's grave robbers, and they're like, oh shit, zombie.
Yeah, exactly. Zombie! See, zombies were back in the day, man. They were all the rage. That's crazy.
I think I heard something somewhere like zombies become an in thing whenever there's a depression.
Really?
Yeah, something like that. Maybe it's recession, not depression. But it's one of the economic trends that zombies become prevalent during. But
it would make sense.
Buried alive thing, it says safety coffins were devised to prevent premature burial, although there is no evidence that they have ever been successfully used to save an accidentally buried person.
Do they still have said safety coffins?
Probably not. On December 5th, 1882.
So we feel that we're confident enough not to bury somebody alive. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like that's a pretty big gamble.
Well, maybe you should spend some time laying some coffins, get used to the feeling, so that way if you ever wake up in one, you're calm, relaxed, you know what to do.
Well, I don't know what to do if there's no safety coffins. That means there's no string.
And there might be different kinds, because this guy, J.G., I assume, yeah, it's him. J.G. Crick bomb?
Crick bomb. He's all about the crick bomb.
He received the U.S. patent number for his device for life in buried persons. Device for really? That's the name of it?
For life, baby.
It consisted of a movable periscope-like pipe which provided air, and when rotated or pushed by the person in the coffin, indicated to passerby that somebody was buried alive.
So, this is okay. So, he developed a periscope. He did not develop that. He just stole it from a submarine. But we'll go with that.
And put it in a coffin. Yes.
Jesus Christ, man. How am I not rich yet? I could come up with a fucking stupid idea like that.
Okay. Here's the one about the string and the bell. I think.
How about we just we can make a coffin, right? We'll put a fucking engine on it. And we'll sell it to enthusiasts for engines. We'll make millions.
I'm in. Look at that. We're going to get rich off this episode. Dace is going to be so mad he missed out.
He is.
But here's your little bell thing, though. Count. He's a count.
Count Dracula?
Yeah, you can call him that because his name is kind of weird. Carnegie of Belgium.
All right, he doesn't count. Go ahead.
After witnessing the revival of a friend's daughter as her coffin was lowered into the ground.
A friend's daughter.
He came up with an idea in 1897, which mechanically detected chest movements to trigger a flag, lamp, bell, and fresh air along similar lines in the United Kingdom.
Wait, would you say it detected what?
It detected chest movements.
Chest movements, okay.
So I don't know, like breathing. Sorry, maybe they just like taped a piece of string to their chest.
Well, in the coffin, or like, you don't think they don't check that first to see? Let me see if he's breathing. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, things happen. I don't know. Doctors are drunk. Fucking bear them. Including breakable glass panels in the coffin lid, which I don't know what good that's going to do, because then you just have a bunch of dirt on you.
Yeah, like what? How? Oh, Jesus Christ! Well, you know what I would have done if I told people if I died, I would tell people you got to wait at least 2 weeks minimum before you buried me, because you people keep fucking burying people alive because you're idiots. You can't even tell if I'm dead. God.
So there's that. Oh, there's a whole different page on safety coffins.
What? How? That actually scares me. That means there must have been a lot of people buried alive back in the day.
Yeah, well, again, doctors probably weren't very good then.
So how is this an urban legend if it happens all the time?
I prefaced it with saying it happened a bunch. It doesn't anymore.
Lies.
Oh, hey, you can rest easy because the variations on the idea are still available today. So you can still get your safety coffin if you're really scared.
Where do I buy said coffin?
I don't know. Check your local undertaker.
Uh-oh.
Really?
Next legend.
Well, it's suggested that the phrase saved by the bell, dead ringer, and graveyard shift all come from the use of safety coffins. Oh, maybe not. They just tell me these things and they're like, nah, JK. The fuck? But anyway, that's all I have for my little slice of heaven here.
Really? That's all we got? That's all you're going to grace us with your great presence of your corner?
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right.
That's pretty good.
It wasn't bad. I'll take it.
I was a little nervous. I peed a little, you know.
All right. And now, I guess that would mean it's time for, there's now celebrity news.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
What the hell?
That's brilliant, Dad. I'm going in.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Fight my shiny metal ass. Yeah, bitch! And here we go.
First up, hip-hop star, Stevie J that's right, busted by the cops for owing $1 million, $1 million smackers, $1 million books in child support. He had to unfortunately learn a hard lesson about being a baby's daddy. You gotta pay that child support, or you go. You do not pass go. You do not collect $200. You go directly to jail. So poor Stevie J now is behind bars after he had kids back in 1997, 1998, and 1999, and he was ordered back in the day to pay $6,600 a month in child support, and he apparently is one of those baby daddies who does not like paying his baby daddy bills.
So wait, 1996 and 97?
It's 1997 and 1998.
So they waited till the kids were almost fully adults to be like, hey, you didn't pay for this. I don't know how they lived, but you didn't pay for this.
Well, no shit. Now she's going to use that money and get herself in...
Shouldn't the kids get the money?
Huh.
Because technically the money is supposed to go towards the kids, not just to the mom so she can buy a new purse.
Yeah, well, come on. All right. Well, we can just look at fucking Michael Jackson's kids, for crying out loud.
Okay. All right.
They get freaking the grandmother gets freaking, what is it, $3 million a year to raise the kids.
That's a good chunk.
And the kids get an allowance of $8 million a year.
I could spend some good times in the arcade with that kind of money.
My question, I can't fathom spending $8 million in a year. I don't know. I don't know how I could do it. I could go out and buy a house and I wouldn't even break $1 million.
Right. You could buy a couple houses.
And I don't.
And a couple Ferraris while you're at it and blow them up and buy a couple more.
Yeah, and I'd still have fucking money left over and not know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. It's crazy.
I think you can even buy a small island for that even. Well, for less than that. For like, probably less than $1 million, I think.
You could probably get a fucking decent sized island for like $5 million. Still have $3 million to put a fucking house on if you want.
Pretty sure with $8 million you could buy half of Iowa and nobody'd notice.
Yeah, exactly. Some guy's just buying up all the land around here. Who cares? Next thing you know, fucking there's a big amusement park and they're calling it Walt Disney too.
There you go. Or Neverland.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe they'll turn it into the Harry Potter world. All right. So apparently the Brad Pitt attacker is getting dirty with Brad Pitt on his mind. The guy who bum rushed Brad Pitt at Hollywood premiere is still hung up on Mr. Pitt, even after he begins serving his sentence for the attack. Vitaly Seduk, God, no wonder why he attacked him, he's not even English, was wearing a tank top. Because that's what they do in brutalizing his Brad Pitt picture while he was picking up garbage as part of his court-ordered community service. Sledge pled no contest, so I assume that means guilty, to the attack, and he was ordered to stay away from Mr. Pitts and Mrs. Jolie, and has to do 20 days hard labor, mostly cleaning up. So, basically, you attack a star, you don't get thrown in jail. You only have to clean up parks and shit.
Oh, really?
Anyway.
That's good to know.
So, another news, which is kind of sad, the Tracy Morgan accident. The driver in said accident has pled not guilty. Kevin Roper, the truck driver who is involved in the Tracy Morgan death, has pled not guilty in a New Brunswick court this afternoon. Roper is facing charges of death by auto and assault by auto, and his bail was set at $50,000. Roper was driving a truck for the great and all-powerful Walmart on Saturday when he struck Morgan's limo. One person died as a result, and Morgan's still in the hospital. My bad. Morgan's still in the hospital. I thought he was the one that died. Anyway, Roper has not only maintained his innocence, he says he's a scapegoat because a celebrity was involved. Quite interesting. It could be true. They could be throwing him as a scapegoat because a celebrity has died. But who knows? Who knows? Good old Walmart. I know Walmart's already said that they pay anything that comes out of this.
Of course they will.
So they're pretty much already saying that's, most likely their fault. Just saying. Not looking good for Mr. Roper here.
Yeah, I'm just saying, we'll pay. It's cool. It's all right.
We got the monies. Don't worry, honeys. We got the monies.
We got you, boo.
I'm actually kind of shocked, man, because apparently Walmart's supposed to have a really, really good trucking division. Apparently this guy was driving for over a day. Don't know how the hell I would never be able to do that. I would have fell asleep a long time ago. All right, the situation. Dun, 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 dun. His own tanning salon workers are getting stiffed. Mike, the situation. Sorrentino is already having money problems with his new tanning salon. The employees had to call the cops. That's right, they called the Popo on Mr. Situation because they have not gotten paid. The representative of the police department said 4 employees from Bacco Tanning Club in Middletown, New Jersey, has filed police reports claiming their paychecks all had bounced. According to police, each employee was owed between $100 to $200. Can't even pay him a measly $200. Mr. Situation, what has the world come to? What has the world come to?
Terrible things.
I know. And then I have one more great story for you. And this comes from Mr. Rapper named Ray J.
Ray J?
That's right.
Wasn't there Stevie J earlier?
Was
that his name?
I think they just put J's at the end, apparently become a rapper. My name's Brian J. I'm a rapper. Why not?
We'll call when we keep doing the Gibby Sings thing, we'll just call you Brian J.
I know, right? So apparently he fronts $50,000 for a hillbilly rap video. And just looking at the great picture of him is quite hilarious. He looks like the Pillsbury Doughboy, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
So apparently he's a ginger and everything, and he's doing a Hollywood Hillbillies rap song.
Making that gingerbread?
Making that gingerbread.
Is actually the video?
Come on, obviously. What are you kidding me? Man, you gotta be making that gingerbread. Gingerbread. Uh-huh. And that's pretty much all I got for celeb news, unless you have something else to say, Frank.
No, I tried to find some stuff, but nothing too interesting.
All right. So then I guess that means it's time for...
Self-five. For the big dog.
So I guess I'll just have to just wing something up here. And we're going to go with...
Have a high five?
Yeah, we're going to go with top 5 video games. So
top 5 video games?
Yeah, why not? Sounds good to me.
I think we did. Okay, whatever. That's cool. Like for ever, in the history of ever, or for like newer games, or
your top 5 video games. I don't need I don't want any kind of. We're not limiting this to anything, so it could be any type of video game.
Okay.
On any system, any genre. God, you have fun with it. All right, so I'll go first. So I'm going to go at number 5, which is kind of depressing. But I would probably have to put World of Warcraft in there.
Oh, of course you would.
Yeah, I know. Basically, I had to put that in there, at least the original, because I unfortunately was addicted to that game for pretty much my senior year in college, or in not college, high school. Played many hours, many raids, many of time I wish I had back. My number 4 would actually be Data, Defense of the Ancients 2. And that is actually by Valve. And that's basically the game that I am somewhat addicted to now. Probably play roughly, 15 hours a week of that. So I unfortunately would have to make my top 5. Let's see, number 3 on the great old hit list is might get some heat for this one, but I would have to go Call of Duty, and I'm gonna have to go specifically with Black Ops, the original, not the second one. And that's pretty much. Yeah, for some reason I like that one the best out of all the Call of Duty. The newer Call of Duty franchises.
I actually have to agree with you, just for the record.
Okay.
At least as far as online play goes, that one just seemed to work the best.
Yeah, I have to agree as well. I feel like it just... I don't know. I just like that one the best out of all of them. All right. And then number 2. Let's see here. I would have to go with, unfortunately, Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne. And that is another one of them games where I was unfortunately addicted to for a decent amount of time in my life, and I just have to put it on my list. And my number 1, which is probably the craziness of my younger days, would have to go with StarCraft's Brood War. So that one, unfortunately, has to be number 1, as I spent probably 7-8 years nonstop playing said game consistently throughout all of my childhood. It actually scares me to think about if I actually tried to quantify how many hours I invested into said game, as I would say it would clearly have to be well over 1,000 hours.
You could have taken that time to learn to play guitar, learn a new language. I could have taken that time to do a lot of things. But no, I did no such thing. And that would have to be my top 5. How about you, Frank? Okay. All right. My top 5. Number 5. I think I go all the way back to the Genesis days and go with Sonic 2.
I never had this A Genesis. A Genesis. So I never actually played any of the Sonics.
I mean, I guess I could probably go back to the Nintendo days and name a couple NES games that were fantastic, but at the same time, I think that's more nostalgia than actually
I was
really
gonna say,
fun to play.
Yes, that's why I chose my list basically off of how much I actually played them. Because, to me, that kind of defines what you consider good. You're not going to play a bad game, obviously.
But, I mean, at least to this day, I could turn on my Genesis and play Sonic for a couple hours and be happy.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, that's quite easy with, I would say, a majority of the older games, though. There's not many real bad ones. Well, at least the ones that come to mind. Yeah, I was going to say, not the ones that come to mind, at least. That I would classify as horrible and unplayable.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of a lot of the older games. They were all playable. Just some weren't as fun as others, but they were playable.
Exactly.
Now you get some games nowadays that you can't.
Yeah, I can't.
They do something weird with the graphics or controls are screwed.
Chris was trying weird. Chris bought that, I don't know, that weird, I guess, sexual game where you move blocks around. You're a goat guy. I played one level and turned it off. I was like, this is freaking ridiculous. I played one level, beat it, go into the next level, and it's the same damn thing. And I gave up. I put it down and was like, I'm done playing this game. And I think Chris played another 2-3 levels, and it's the same damn game. You just move blocks around. I don't get it. I'm sorry. Not my cup of tea, I guess.
It happens, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to number 4, I would have to go with Age of Empires. Technically the original, but the expansions are there too, but I know I spent
Really?
countless hours playing Age of Empires.
So you're going Age of Empires 1?
Yeah.
Age of Empires 2 is great.
Well, yeah. Again, all of them.
Really, I didn't like Age of Empires 3.
It was
That whole card thing. I didn't. I hated it. I didn't like it at all.
I guess 1 and 2 then, because you're right with the 3 thing. I kind of wrote it off because I loved the first 2, so I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah, I can see that, but yeah, the third one is just like, really? No, they were getting kind of corny with their gameplay, but it's fun.
But I always got to the point, like, make the biggest map possible with whatever 8 enemies or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then just play the hell of it until all of a sudden you start getting attacked and you realize they have a way bigger army than you. So then you have to go and use cheat codes so that way you can get your photon men going and defend yourself.
Exactly.
Okay, number 3, which, that's actually kind of, I was gonna say another computer game. I was gonna say Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Oh wow, that's actually a really good one.
Because again, spent so much time playing that game, not actually doing any of the achievement, just building a giant ass theme park and then killing the guests.
You're one of those people, huh?
Yeah, but the amount of time I spent doing it is incredible.
Oh, those were the days.
But then I started thinking of all the great PS3 games that I've played.
There's so many, man. So many to choose from.
Like, because what I was gonna say is The Last of Us. Have you played that?
I have not.
You should.
What type of game style is it?
Kind of first-person shooter-esque. I think it was first-person. It might have been third-person for all I remember. Shows you how much I pay attention. It's about the end of the world, zombie takeover. You're helping this little girl get to the safe haven, basically.
Mhm.
It's just like a giant movie that you play through.
There we go. That sounds like a fun time.
Number 2 is going to be BioShock Infinite.
Really?
I have not played the first BioShock game, so I have no idea what that's about.
Okay.
But the storyline of BioShock Infinite was so well done that I have to give it the number 2 spot. So, yeah, take
Pressing.
that.
Okay.
And then I think my number 1, and it wasn't for necessarily the amount of time played, but it's Heavy Rain.
Heavy Rain, okay.
Yeah, it's for the PS3. Decently older game, too, because I think it came out closer to when the PS3 came out.
Yeah, I was going to say, it is pretty,
But I played straight through that. It took about 9 hours. I did it all in one sitting because I was just so addicted to it.
Yeah, the only game I've ever done that with, where I actually sat through and played the entire game, would be Halo. But my problem is with Halo is once I beat it, I pretty much stopped playing it. And I don't know if you know anybody in the Halo series. They're pretty quick, unfortunately. I didn't like the multiplayer, so that's why I didn't actually make my list.
See, I'm kind of in the same boat, too. Like, once I beat the game, I don't really care to play it again unless it has a multiplayer aspect or something like that.
Yeah.
And I actually haven't played it again. I sold it because I knew I wouldn't play it again, but it was just so good for what it was. And the fact that you do make choices that will change the storyline itself.
Yeah, those type of games are actually pretty neat because then you can there actually is a reason to actually keep playing or do another playthrough, at least 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So I mean, those are like the only ones where I might. Well, even then, it's very rare unless you didn't get the main story ending.
Yeah, you accidentally got some side-off thing, and then you're like, oh, man, I chose wrong.
Exactly, and then you gotta go beat it again. If you get the right one, it's just like, yeah, I'm done. Sorry.
Yep. So I suppose that could be my 5. There's so many other games out there that probably are just as good, if not better. Those were just the first 5 that came to mind.
That's fine. Gotta start somewhere. Start working them down. All right, and I guess that's pretty much it for the show tonight, guys. Unless you have anything to bring up, Breck.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't have a douchebag or anything, so.
Yeah, we haven't done one of those in forever. Which is actually kind of shocking. That was like one of our only sticks that we were actually doing for a while, and then dropped off the face of the earth.
Well, I'm sure if Dace was here, he'd probably call whatever airline he's flying on the douchebag, but.
Oh yeah, of course he would.
He won't still be mad about it next week, so.
He might be. Missed the show. We'll see what happens. So I guess we can get to our plugs. Frank?
Swing on over to the DaceManShow.com. Just check it out. Like usual, same thing, same plug. Do it.
Do it, do it, do it.
That's it, pretty much. Unless you really want to find me on Facebook or Twitter or something, do it. I might be okay with that.
Yeah, no one wants to do that, Frank. Sorry. All right. Well, you guys out there can email me at thedacemanshow@gmail.com, where we can take any requests and use them in our show. You can also email that to have Frank update his website, which I haven't think's been updated in, God, I don't even know.
It's been a while.
A long while. Unfortunately, a long while.
We're working on it. Just some things happened, and my friend's computer took a shit on him, stuff like that.
That's right. And if any of you guys really are interested, you should click on the penguin.
Yeah, there you go.
Other than that, please tune in every Wednesday at 8 p.m. where we host the Dace Man Show here on Mega Power Radios. As for that, for everyone out there in the Dacetacular Nation, we'll see you again next time. And I exited out of this damn studio.
So you can't end the show yet?
I completely forgot I was logged in. I just exited out everything.
Okay, other things. Isn't it next week is our 1 year, isn't it?
Oh, that's right.
So if you're still with us because you didn't run away yet, remember to tune in next week for that. It's going to be a big deal.
Yeah, I think we're actually having issues. Well, for that one we'll be fine, but we actually are having to postpone some of our other great things. Of course.
Like the too many games thing?
No, I think our drunk day, which we will be doing again, guys. Unfortunately, I believe we have a conflict.
Again?
In schedules. Yeah, Dace has always got conflicts. That's the problem. He's a conflict machine.
I could have been drunk right now.
You're not kidding. I easily could have been drunk by now.
I think I should run out and buy some beer, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I think we're alcoholics, man.
Yeah.
It's a bad sign nowadays. Bad sign.
No, I see. The rule I follow is as long as it doesn't interrupt your living, you're fine. So, like, if you're still going to work, your friends don't hate you more than they already do, you're good. You're not pissing anybody off. You're not stealing from your grandma to get liquor money.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you are. I'm not, so I don't think I have a problem yet.
All right.
But damn it, Nana, when I run out of money, I'm coming for you.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't listen to the show. Well, she might. It'd be weird.
So I actually have no idea
you.
How I do this. Do I just click the outro and it ends?
No, there's an end show button.
Oh, just hit the end episode?
Yeah, well, play the outro, then end episode. Because it doesn't play the outro on its own. I found that out last time I did it.
Oh, well, here we go.
Play the outro, then end the show. Yeah.
See you guys next time, maybe.